Warning. Due to scenes featuring flashing/strobing lights and images, it is suggested that those prone to seizures and other photosensitive issues refrain from watching this video. A further warning to those who have issues with loud noises and moments of distress. While short, such things are present. I apologize for this inconvenience.
Today we're going to be talking about the S.H.MonsterArts Shin Godzilla figure from 2016, and I honestly and genuinely really just love everything about it. This is my favorite S.H.MonsterArts figure, second to only KOTM Ghidorah. There we go. Just look at that beautiful figure. Everything you see is just so perfect and in tune with everything that made the Shin Godzilla design so great. Now, me personally, I really don't like Shin Godzilla that much in terms of the movie. The design is fine by me. I find that the movie concentrated a little bit too much on the humans and too much on politics or whatever. I really don't think Godzilla movies are in need of too much humans and not enough Godzilla. I mean, it is called Shin Godzilla, but what we really got was political entry Godzilla, which that's not present in the franchise at all. Anyway, before I talk any further about this magnificent little macaroon, let's take a look at the box. Holy macaroni, would you look at the size of this box? It's absolutely huge. I mean, damn, man, it's almost 10 inches tall. Pretty dang wide, too. But anyway, this is a very big and beautiful box, striking like Shin Godzilla's poster. All red with the figure in full view, and is just stacked head to toe with promo images, and we have the open box over here with the text on it, and then we have the images of the figure on the side. Absolutely beautiful. How could you honestly dislike this box? Yeah, it takes up a bunch of space, but wow, it's just as impressive as the figure is. Sorry there, Mr. Light, you needed a bit of an adjustment. Anyway, that's it for the box. I'm going to save for talking about my favorite part of the figure, being the paint and detail, for later. Right now, let's just go over the absolutely awesome articulation that this figure has. Holy cheese on rye, just look at this figure. He's absolutely grisly. This guy is also chock full of a lot of ball joints. We're going to have one at the top of the head over here that'll also act as a hinge for the mouth. There's going to be a ball joint over here as well for the bottom portion of the mouth. You'll have a ball joint over here, a ball joint over here, a ball joint over here, and a ball joint over here. The upper body has a lot of articulation present, and it's really going to help you get Shin Godzilla into a lot of fantastic poses, most of which you've seen in the movie. Now we're starting off rather magnificently with one heck of a ball joint over here at Shin's shoulder lump blade thing. The other portion of the arm over here is going to be able to move all the way around as it is on a ball joint, as is the forearm, and as is the wrist. Very, very nice. I actually remember being a little bit worrisome of the hands because I always like to have my Shin Godzillas posed with the hands up. That's honestly one of the reasons why I dislike all of the movie monster series Shin Godzilla releases. It's just not accurate. It doesn't look right. Now to move on to Shin Godzilla's thick and magnificent thighs over here. The legs will of course be on a ball joint and are capable of going all the way around. Alrighty, now let's take a look at Shin Godzilla's magnificent thighs over here. Thankfully, you're going to get a nice wide range of movement for Shin Godzilla in the legs. Lord knows he needs it, because even though all Shin Godzilla did in the movie was walk, S.H.MonsterArts were just so kind to give us a bunch of ball joints here that can add a lot more character to Shin Godzilla. You know, something that this iteration of Godzilla absolutely lacks. And thankfully, we'll be gifted with a very nice ball joint at the ankle, adding for a very lovely pivot. Every SHMA superfan, much like myself, knows how important it is to have a lot of fluid movement within the legs of your figures. Thankfully, S.H.MonsterArts fully delivers in that. Now, let's talk about the tail. Probably the most impressive part about one of the most impressive parts about this figure is simply just going to be the range of movement that this tail has. Just look at that curve, and such a long tail at that as well. I actually have to sit pretty far back just to get the entire tail on screen. But just look at this beautiful angle that the tail is capable of with all of those fantastic S.H.MonsterArts ball joints at work. There truly is just no flaw in this figure's articulation. And I just absolutely love how this tail can curl. And yes, it is even capable of doing the near perfect S-curve. Look at that. How anybody can be upset with this figure in any way, shape, or form just blows my mind. S.H.MonsterArts absolutely delivered the definitive Shin Godzilla figure, especially in terms of articulation. So I, SH Superfan ShinRobjira here, am going to give S.H.MonsterArts Shin Godzilla 2016 a solid star in terms of articulation. So before we move on into paint, I just wanted to show off some size comparisons for Shin Godzilla, and boy does he just absolutely knock every other Shin Godzilla figure out of the water. Again, there is no competition here in Shin Godzilla from S.H.MonsterArts being the definitive Shin Godzilla. I love how he towers over most figures, and even when paired with a figure that is bigger than him, your eyes are just automatically drawn to Shin Godzilla from S.H.MonsterArts. It's almost like your eyes just know how perfect it is. Now, let's move on to my favorite part of this figure, the screen accurate. Thank you for that. Perfect articulation, huh? Well, SH Superfan over there didn't mention leg falls off, and he absolutely didn't mention that the tail falls off as well. Screen accurate paint? Really? What f***ing drugs are you goddamn on, and where can I get some to be that f***ing delusional? This? The definitive Shin Godzilla figure? Just for that, I'm going to plunge a knife into the side of that opinion and then twist ever so violently. But before we do it, please, don't forget about how these markings look, as these markings are 100% going to come back into play a little bit later as I'm talking about the paint. But anyway, in order for me to fully critique this guy, let's put him back together. There we go! Now, for a second, everybody, I want you to look at this figure and comment the first thing that comes to mind down in the comment section or in the Premiere chat for those who are watching this at Premiere. Is the first thing that comes to mind screen accurate? Because Lord knows, this is the furthest thing from screen accurate. But don't get me wrong though, there are some impressive bits about this figure. Let's take a look. Now I might dislike S.H.MonsterArts, but I will gladly point out when they're doing a good job with something. Ah yeah, stupid moron ShinRobjira before forgot to mention that this is the reissue of the S.H.MonsterArts Shin Godzilla. So all the issues we're about to go over were carried on over from the original or not improved on at all. What a lovely company. So like I said, I might dislike S.H.MonsterArts, but I'm perfectly fine in admitting when they do a good job on something. The eye looks pretty good. That's pretty much it, because these teeth over here, yeah, I really wouldn't call them a strong point at all, especially when most of them look like they were just dipped in ketchup and ranch. Opening the mouth up, you can see a little bit more of what I'm talking about. My, just look at all of that lovely quality control on those teeth. The sad thing is, these teeth are still considered better than what was originally released with the first release of Shin Godzilla. Yeah, this side fared a little bit better, but the front and the opposing side really didn't. You can pretty much just see all of the non-existing paint on these teeth. Now, I really don't care if these teeth are really small and hard to paint in real life, because this thing was $120. You're S.H.MonsterArts. You're practically the X plus of articulated figures. What's going on here? I'll tell you what, mediocrity. That's why I call you sham sometimes. But do you know what's not mediocre there, friends and neighbors? The inside of Shin Godzilla's mouth. Oh yes, this saucy, cheesy bit of flesh and sinewy bits is easily some of S.H.MonsterArts' best work. I think the first time I looked at this figure, I likened this to a lasagna massacre, and seriously, it looks like that. It looks like that a lot. I mean, I nearly lost my words just looking at the absolute phantasmic looking details on this. Look at this. It's so nice. And the same can honestly be said for the back of Shin Godzilla's throat. Sure, it looks a little, vaginal. But man, the different layers, the glossiness of all of it, it's just so awesome looking. And just look at that paint application. Oh my god, it is so awesome. Honestly, I might as well just give the paint for the inside of the mouth a solid star, because it really is just worthy of a solid star in and of itself. Yeah, it's me, it's ShinRobjira. I'm not SH Superfan Robjira, whoever the that was. Yes sirree, no cap here. I love the inside of Shin Godzilla's mouth, including the membranes on the side. Great stuff. The teeth are horrendous though. And I will give S.H.MonsterArts credit for applying the eyes in a way that doesn't look terrible. Yeah, the opposite eye is more so looking at an angle than the other one is, but it's still better than what we got prior. Now, in talking about Shin Godzilla's skin, this is terrible. Legitimately terrible. Awful. Shin Godzilla absolutely has a very specific look to him. And the fact that even S.H.MonsterArts couldn't pull it off is just a testament. A testament to Shin Godzilla being one of the greatest Godzilla designs ever that not even a top-tier, high-budgeted figure-producing line can even capture it. And that says a lot. Especially for what I'm going to do later on in this video. Yeah, there really isn't much salvation going on here. I mean, pretty much anywhere. Shin Godzilla is kind of like, he's kind of like a super well done steak that your dad made and threw it into the pool. And then your dog Baxter just fished it out of the pool and then plops it in front of your feet, looking up at you like the good boy that he is, waiting for you to praise him for doing such a good job. Reluctantly, you give him the praise, but then you look at the slab of meat at your feet. What an absolute waste. Oh yeah. The paint rubs off nearly everywhere. Oh boy, look at how mid. The sad thing though is I can really see little inklings of S.H.MonsterArts really trying to do the whole outlining of every line in red here, especially like right here on the arm or the shoulder, whatever you want to call it. But it's just not working out. And S.H.MonsterArts, I have to say, you didn't need to rush this reissue out. You could have taken your time. Devoted SHMA fans would have waited. But for whatever reason, you rushed it out and it kind of suffered from the same problems. Further making me wish that S.H.MonsterArts just listened to fan criticisms. Because if they did, I have a feeling we wouldn't be dealing with issues like this. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that producing a figure much like Shin Godzilla with the intricacies of the design is an easy thing, but you're also S.H.MonsterArts, and a lot of the issues that are present on this figure really shouldn't be here. Especially on the second time out. Yeah, I know what's coming up now. My favorite argument that I see in comment sections, Facebook groups, Twitter conversations alike.
Well, mine's not like that.
I don't give a f***. I paid $120 for this thing, plus for shipping. And you think it's okay that yours doesn't, but mine does? Oh my god, I think I might be having a brain freeze. Holy sh**. I absolutely detest that argument when talking about S.H.MonsterArts. For $120 or more, you shouldn't be running into issues like this. But then again, your figures shouldn't come out looking like this. Terrible. Oh yeah, the rub-off? everywhere, dude. Even if you're nice and gentle with your figure, like I have been in the past, you will still see significant rub-off. But I will say this. Shin's back looks fantastic. I mean, look at this. It looks like a fleshy heat vent. Really, really cool. But look at this high-grade application over here that's not even fully painted with the dorsal fin. That looks terrible. In fact, most of the dorsal fins look kind of off due to all of the random red spots on them. I'd say I don't understand what happened here, but I know exactly what happened here. Sham happened here. And I have to communicate how upsetting this is because this all looks so very good on both sides too. Okay, maybe not on both sides. This looks a little miscolored, but still, look at all of the amazing paint and detail going on back here. And then it's just absolutely marred by some subpar painted dorsal fins. Now I must ask that you all turn your attention to this dorsal fin right over here. Look at the root over here. Does that look familiar to you at all? No? Okay, let's continue on then. It's coming, I assure you. Alright, this portion of Shin Godzilla's back is quite possibly one of the most beautifully detailed and painted bits on this figure. Look at that. That is the lasagna massacre that I referred to it as in my original video. That is amazing. Truly, truly amazing. I don't think I could speak any ill will to how amazing this backplate looks. Sure, we've got some underpainted dorsal fins over here with some red spots all over them, but that's okay because look at this. But you know what would have been great? If the whole back looked like that. Going handheld for this one, everybody, because I am going to show you that the midsection of the back over here is the only portion of Shin Godzilla's back that looks like that. As here we are looking at other portions of the back, and it really just doesn't match up. Look at that. That's amazing painting, that's amazing detail and everything, but why doesn't the rest of the back look like that? Why, S.H.MonsterArts? Why? I'm begging you. I need to know why. Now, a good friend of mine did point out that this is probably the part of Shin Godzilla's back that got destroyed by the bombs in Shin Godzilla before he went all, thermonuclear, I'm going to end your lives. And yeah, that's a pretty good explanation, but also kind of stupid, don't you think? If you were going to accentuate on the fact that this is the damaged Shin Godzilla, why wasn't there a blood effect included? Why weren't there bombs included? Like, yeah, that might be the point, and yes, it is the back of the figure, sure, but why? Why? I would like to draw all y'all's opinion to the root of this dorsal fin right over here, and this dorsal fin over here. I'm talking right around here and right around here. Does that look familiar to any of you? It doesn't? Alright, hold on. It kind of looked like that, doesn't it? Do you know what else happens to look like that, friends? Neighbors? They happen to look like these. Parts where the paint is rubbing off on the bottom of the tail. Now, before I go off on this thing, I do just want to say very, very quickly, this is all due to my negligence. I put this figure back in his box in such a way that the plastic was really rubbing up against the bottom of his tail. So this happening, it's all on me. I'll take that. That'll be an X for ShinRobjira repackaging his figures. He did it bad. But what it doesn't excuse is this. I originally thought that this was a particular kind of paint that S.H.MonsterArts used for this part of the tail and moving forward to kind of give Shin Godzilla and his tail a wet scab looking look to it. But do you know what it really is? It's the lack thereof paint on this $120 tail. That's not paint. It's the lack thereof it, and oh my god, I really don't know, guys. I don't. And you know what makes this even better is the multicolor segmentation of the tail. What's going on there, S.H.MonsterArts? Shin Godzilla's tail wasn't multicolored, you hacks. You shams? Yeah, that really does look like the absence there of paint. And seeing as how this looks a lot like that, I am going to safely assume that this tail isn't fully painted. Now, I might be wrong, and it might be a type of paint. But I don't think I am wrong. But if I am, I'm sorry, but the point still stands that this tail is 4 different colors when in all it needed to be was 1. 1. Not even going to finish. Not even going to try. The paint job on this figure gets an X. In fact, it gets 2 X's for being poorly painted, and it actually comes full circle for the tail being underpainted and multicolored, when it's not supposed to be any of that. Let's take a look at the tip of the tail. Now, the tip of the tail, much like the inside of Shin Godzilla's mouth, is yet again some of S.H.MonsterArts' very best work. Just look at the meaty, rotted out looking hot dog that is the tip of Shin Godzilla's tail. There is just so much to look at here. And no matter where you turn it, you are just going to see so much fantastic paint, so much fantastic detail. That is disgusting. And yes, you can see the face a bit. Absolutely. You can see the jaw, you can see the eye over here. It's all very, very well done. Sure, I do wish it was painted up a little bit better just to showcase all of the amazing details that went into this, but at the end of the day, it's still pretty dang well done. And applause. S.H.MonsterArts perfectly painted the inside of Shin Godzilla's mouth and the tip of his tail, and then fully botched everything else. You think we're done? Oh no, there's still more to talk about. Yeah, you keep clapping. Don't stop. I didn't tell you you could stop clapping. The chest of this figure is probably the only area on this figure that does the Shin Godzilla thing correctly. And even then, it's a little on the upsetting side. The paint job just doesn't feel fully realized. And instead of getting red on top of black, we just have this really weird looking mixture that does look gross, but it doesn't completely feel like Shin Godzilla. And then you have certain areas on this figure that has more red than it does black, and more black than it does red, and then more red than it does black, giving off this pattern-esque look, which ain't right. And that only becomes all the more questionable when you look on the other side of the figure and it's nowhere near as bad. But the detail is absolutely fantastic. Yeah, I really do need to point that out, because even though the paint definitely got botched, the detail did not. The articulation is fantastic, as is the sculpt, but just not the paint. And again, you will see more red and black imbalances as you move throughout the figure. Some to the point where it just looks questionable, and some to the point where it looks like the red is just completely and 100% covered. And it is a little weird that everything looks glossy except for this general area. It almost looks like S.H.MonsterArts forgot to cover most of the crotch area with the gloss, because, I don't know, maybe it's just my eyes, but this really isn't shining like the rest. It's shining over here, yeah, but I feel like this issue shows itself a little bit more once the tail is attached. As you can see, it's a little bit flatter, a little bit more glossier. It's just really weird looking to me. Speaking of weird looking, we all know that Shin Godzilla has some extra toes on his feet. And for the most part, S.H.MonsterArts did paint them, which is a very nice change of things. Honestly, wasn't expecting most of them to be painted. And hey, I have to give them credit where credit is due. Good shit, you painted all the extra toenails. Except they didn't. These are unpainted. This is unpainted. The one over here is unpainted. And while that might be a bit of a petty complaint, considering how small these extra toenails are, the teeth, for the most part, are painted. So, no excuses from me. Shin Godzilla's grody little hands over here, all of the nails here are mostly painted, a little bit on the messy side with some red bleed through here and there, but nothing that I can fully really complain on. They are nicely detailed and they look great. For whatever reason, the opposite side, though, in terms of the nails and the bleed through, is a little bit more on the extreme side. Don't know why that is, don't know what's going on there, but yeah. The red ridges that are supposed to be along Shin Godzilla's tail aren't really painted. They're certainly not red, that's for sure. But the sad thing is you can actually see an inkling of S.H.MonsterArts trying to accomplish that. They just mostly failed at it. I really don't know what else to honestly say. It's just not great. And in all honesty, it's not worth the asking price. Sure, the figure articulates perfectly fine, and yes, the sculpt is absolutely flawless, but all of that's kind of just lost when it comes to the paint job. Yes, it doesn't directly affect the articulation, absolutely not, but the sculpt almost feels entirely wasted in this regard because the figure just doesn't look good. Now I know I gave the inside of Shin Godzilla's mouth and the tip of his tail 2 solid stars in terms of paint, but both of those areas are majorly blacked out by the fact that this figure's paint job is so terrible. And since I am a cynical and I do not like this figure, really at all, even, I'm gonna give it 3 solid X's in terms of paint. $120 for not only an inaccurate paint job, but just a very beginner level type paint job. Honestly, this figure's paint is so terrible, it looks like I painted it. And the sculpt is going to get a solid star as well. I am merely trying to communicate. This figure wasn't worth $120, and it absolutely 250,000% is not worth any price on eBay, Mandarake, Amazon, anywhere at all. You can get this thing for 60 bucks, maybe even 70. I'll go as high as 85. Cop. But anything higher than that, you can do yourself better. In fact, why end it here? Let me show you figures that are better than this one for half the price. Some a little bit higher, but yeah. Now, just to be clear, I am doing this solely just in terms of paint. Nothing else. So I don't want to see no comments of people saying, that's not true, you can't say that, blah, blah, blah. This is all in paint only. With that being said, let's get started. So base Shin Godzilla from S.H.MonsterArts started at $120. So let's start from the cheapest figures onward. The first being Finger Puppet Shin Goji. Imagine for a second that a finger puppet that would be sold for likely under a whole $1 in Japanese yen actually distributed the red paint along Shin Godzilla's body better than a $120 figure. Imagine that. Not even for a second. Like, I fully admit to this one being a joke. Let's just get serious now. Alrighty, let's get our first official comparison in, that being the Bandai King Series Shin Godzilla figure. Now, some may argue, and I imagine a bunch will, that the Bandai King Series Shin Godzilla figure is entirely outdone by that of the Sham Shin Godzilla figure. But in terms of how the paint on the body was handled, I would say that he is absolutely a little bit better, because the red paint on the body was actually done in a competent way that you can actually, see it. Yes, in every other way, shape, and form, Sham Shin over here wipes the floor with King Series Shin Godzilla, but come on. There's no contest in that regard. Up next, and with a starting price of $40 before shipping, Awaji Island Landing Shin. Yes, a $40 figure. Still managed to do the neck, gills, vents, paint better than a $120 figure that you can barely even see the detail for. Yeah, up next, starting at another whopping $40 before shipping, is the Bandai Movie Monster Series Heavy Paint Application Shin Godzilla figure. To this day, it absolutely amazes me that even the Movie Monster Series was able to get this down pat in a very neat and very cool looking way with a few flubs here and there, and this $120 figure could not. Hang your head in shame, Sham Goji, because it's only going to get worse from here on out. Up next, with a starting price of $35 to $45 online, Sega Premium Prize Shin Godzilla. Oh yeah, I'm cutting deep today. While not wholly accurate in any sense of the word, to be completely honest, Sega still managed to get all of that red, or in their case, a dried gravy-looking color, in all of the crevices of Shin Godzilla, even on the ridges of the tail leading up to the rotted out hot dog at the tip of his tail. It was all consistent, and it was all mass-produced. And what's your excuse? I'm waiting. I'm honestly curious. What's the excuse here? Factory, the difficulty, what? What is it? Alright, up next with a release price of $60, X Plus Defo Real Shin Godzilla. While the figure does have quite a lot of red on him, in many a different areas, and in a very chibified style, X Plus still managed to give us one heck of a beautifully painted little spud with the red paint exactly where it needed to be and then some. It amazes me that this adorable little thing that was only $60 at release manages to trump that of a $120 figure. Are you getting tired of hearing that yet? Too bad. And up next, starting at $125 at release, the Bandai King Series Final Climax Shin Godzilla figure, which does indeed feature more red paint on him than the King Series did. And who boy, what an embarrassment. Imagine getting trumped by a figure that cost $5 more than yours in terms of paint. Look at all this. It's all there. It's all here. It's all here. It's further on the knees and shins. Hell, even on the side over here. Bandai managed to include more red paint on a vinyl figure that is still majorly lacking paint, and it's still, in some senses, especially in my own opinion, looks better than your $120 figure. I really don't understand how, who, what, where, and how, when, why, how. And almost last, and most certainly not least, a figure that I feel personally captured Shin Godzilla in every way, shape, or form. The 25cm X+, which started at $170 $. If this thing had even the most basic of articulation, legs, head, and arms, it would still 116,000% still outshine this thing. Look at this. I don't even need to bring the camera close, do I? I mean, look at this. There's paint where it needs to be. It brings forth all of the amazing details without the cheap usage of gloss. Yeah, there's a few issues here and there with this X Plus figure, yes. But I'd rather have the few tiny issues like this than have all of the issues of this. Now for $170, that's to be expected. But some of you eagle-eyed viewers might have noticed that I neglected to show one particular person. Now, for the most part, my opinion on this figure has changed in more of a negative way than a positive way, but I felt like bringing him out to really twist the knife right here at just how bad Sham Shin is. Starting at a rousing $25 at release, we have NECA Shin Godzilla. Contest me all you wish, but look at all of the red in between the different areas of the skin. Look at the chest, look at the crotch, look at the thighs, look at the knees, shins, and feet. Look at the opposite sides of the figures. Hell, man, look at the teeth. There's no denying, absolutely no denying, that NECA outpainted S.H.MonsterArts. Now, absolutely, the NECA Shin Godzilla figure doesn't even touch the Sham Shin figure in terms of the tip of the tail, the back, or even the inside of the mouth. It's just that a $25 figure managed to get the core base of Shin Godzilla's design more down pat than $120 of figure from S.H.MonsterArts. That is bonkers. And I saved NECA Shin for last solely for that. Now, I don't know many people that are still actively defending the paint job on this thing because, well, I think people have realized at this point there's really nothing to defend. Sham absolutely dropped the ball on this. And you know, it'd be a little bit more forgivable if their quality control hasn't been so from the very beginning. Now again, I mainly showcased all of these figures to show you that they did something better than a $120 figure. I'm not saying Bandai made the better figure, I'm just saying look at the chest that was painted on this Bandai King Series Shin Godzilla figure. Why does it look better than a $120 figure? That's all. I do feel a lot of people go easy on S.H.MonsterArts these days because they spend so much money or they're just sham stands. I don't know what to pin it on, but giving a figure like this a pass in any sort of the words in terms of paint is just an unforgivable crime. And what makes it even worse is there are parts of this figure that are painted up like a dream, and I genuinely wish the rest of the figure was painted up as good. The even sadder part of all this is S.H.MonsterArts wasn't hiding it. Look at these promo shots. It doesn't look that great there either. The teeth definitely look better, but
Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no.
yeah, man. I really don't know what to tell you guys, but rating, patrons, social media, merch, welcome to the SHAMathon, everybody. And it's not gonna get all that much better. Until next time, I have been ShinRobjira, and I want to take the fattest nap right now. Oh my god.